Coeds and Victrix were switched. I don't think they want to be on the opposing teams. Probably not too happy with each other right now. They want to go at it. So this is it. Vertigo Crimson versus Gankstars Polaris. Both not so well known teams in the VG universe. All POA plus players though. All very very strong players. But what's really, really surprising is how well Vertigo did. Even in that late game, they came back in both games. They did a phenomenal job, but Gangstar was finally able to close it out. And they knew the Kraken was being pushed, and they didn't want to. They knew that it was a 2v2 and that they could win that 2v2, and they did. All right, man. So B-Man, here we go. The teams are picked.
All right.
I think we're ready to get into this.
These are exciting. This could be it could potentially be a double weapon comp on behalf of Gankstars with Kestrel and Glaive. I think we're probably going to see a very strong Vox, especially in the late game. We'll see how he builds up early, especially up against if he's going against Kestrel in the lane. Oh, it's going to be a Crystal Kestrel on behalf of Haboni. That's exciting. And a Book of Eulogies on Coed, so it's going to be a lane Glaive.
So no Adagio, almost a mirror comp with one exception. You see Coeds going Glaive. You see Fredboy going Vox. This is pretty cool. I mean, I really like the comps. Both are very, very strong. Coed's going Glaive in the lane, very, very strong. But late game, Fredboy is able to really scale well. But you see the early game pressure coming out of Coed's is also very impressive. So Fredboy is going to have his hands full as he goes in, trying to make sure he gets the last hits. But Fredboy, a very strong Vox. The big thing, though, is in the jungle. It is mirror match. So this is going to be really, truly who is the better Kestrel Arden comp. You see nice arrows coming out of Hoboni. He clearly has a good understanding of how to play Kestrel. He almost takes down Victrix Mortalis. Victrix Mortalis almost tomato health. And you see it's actually Crystal. He's already got 2 Crystal bits. So that's double. Oh, he does get the stun on Excelsior, but that's double Crystal bits early game. And you see a weapon, Victrix Mortalis. I have to say, though, I'm thinking a weapons Kestrel is going to scale better late game.
Yeah, you get a lot more pop on your backsplash. You get on exchange there, it's going to take out Victrix Mortalis. It's going to take out Josh on Vertigo. Excellent glimmer shots from Haboni from both situations.
Yeah, he's doing twice the amount of damage. There's just absolutely nothing that Victrix could do. You see Victrix going right for the early shield, buy some light shield, because he knows how absolutely potent that was. Crystal Kestrel able to get that early game clear and that early game damage. And that, I think, a little bit of surprise. Probably weren't expecting that.
Well, they're going to farm him out here. They're going to pick up a light shield, though, on behalf of Victrix Mortalis. That's a very smart move because you're going to get a lot of damage out of the weapon power anyway. No need to overindulge on it early. And Fredboy keeping moving up in the lane up against Glaive. If you read the lore, you know Glaive follows his sense of smell. I imagine Vox probably smells pretty good. I think he keeps himself clean, maybe uses some cologne. So he does not want to get pinned down by Glaive.
No, he doesn't. Josh on Vertigo staying up the lane with Fredboy. Fredboy with Vox. Very good late scaling Vox. He's known for it. You see Josh taking a lot of the damage. Really just trying to keep Coeds busy so it allows Fredboy to get in the positions he wants, get the farm he needs. Excelsior now is coming up to lane doing the same thing as Josh was just doing. But Coeds, if he gets his afterburn and locks someone down, he can be very deadly.
Yeah, the lane Glaive is a very different kind of monster because he uses Afterburn either to escape or to execute with the turrets at his disposal.
Oh, very careful, though. You see the arrows coming out of Hoboni are insane. This crystal power, he's got 5 crystal items. Is that an infusion too? No, he's got a large crystal bit and 4. He's got so much crystal damage. I don't know if he's just trying to snowball this as fast as he can because can't be a late game, but the arrows, oh, he runs out of arrows, though. Holy cow, all that crystal power coming out of Gankstars by Hoboni is unbelievable, and there's just nothing Vertigo can do. They're just dropping like flies.
Yeah, crap. He has got the big crystal and the 3 crystal bits. He finally picked up some boots. He is just overindulging on crystal power now because he does want to be aggressive. They've played aggressive every game, and this might be maybe one of their most effective comps in trying to be early aggressive.
Yeah, so in the lane, you do see Coeds continuing to do a great job. His 35 to 23 creep score is very good. He's been able to keep Fredboy away from the last hits. Josh doing his best to kind of harass, but he is also very weak, so he's got to be very careful. Fredboy just trying to stay relevant.
There's a big creep score on behalf of Hoboni here. He's got a 32. Victrix is 15. That is significant this early in the game. That's why he's able to get all these extra items.
Yeah, and
He's
there
already,
you see, Hoboni coming in now with Kestrel. That damage is unbelievable.
you do not want to exchange with him at this point. You want to catch him out. You want to get the.
Yeah, and they've been able to get the farm, so that has kept him relevant. You do see Victrix Mortalis going in and weapon versus Crystal. He gets away. He boots out, actually, the Vanguard coming in. But at this point, you're starting to see Victrix actually start to scale a little bit better. You see him putting a lot of damage onto Hoboni. So Hoboni's just with the shield coming out. You see, actually, Victrix Mortalis has 2 shield items. So he's not getting as much poke from Hoboni. So you see Vertigo doing a good job countering it. Let's go up into the lane. Fredboy taking a lot of damage. It's actually pretty even with health between Coeds and Fredboy. Coeds getting a little bit more health from his life book, though, and takes a nice hit. He's actually deadly close to being dead. You see, and there comes Victrix Mortalis with some of the glimmer shots, trying to shut down Coeds. Coeds, though, after burning out and avoiding the kill.
This early aggression on behalf of Gankstars. Oh, they almost take down Victrix again. He's going to go down as a result of a Excelsior.
Blood for blood. And you see Josh, he doesn't have enough defense either, and the arrows just keep coming. The crystal damage coming out of him is so strong. If Vertigo can just stay in this, they may be able to outscale them, but right now, this early game is just too much, and now they're going for Goldmine.
Well, Gankstars has already got a 4,000 gold lead. That is very significant at 6 minutes into the game. They have been farming out Vertigo's jungle every time that they get the drop on Victrix.
And Victrix caught out again. He's going to go down. There's just nothing he can do. Josh is going to stay up in the lane with Fredboy. This is really, really tough. Vertigo's got to be extremely careful to not let this game go completely out of control, because right now they've got nothing.
Yeah, Josh is going to play daddy with Fredboy a little bit. Arden's not going to want Box to get pushed around.
Yeah, and Josh actually walks right into a snipe. I don't think he realized that the snipe actually happens right after. So he sees the blue line, walks away, then walks over. It still was actually active and actually puts a big chunk out of him.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think the snipe is a little bit weaker on the Crystal Kestrel. I think you get more pop out of it when you're doing the weapon power.
Yeah, it's
so
just
that's late game. Vertigo can hang in there, get a little bit more items on the Victrix.
No, Vertigo with the Vox and Weapon Kestrel will be scaling just a little bit better in the late game, but it's not going to matter if they can't even last past the mid game. We've moved into the 5-6 minute mark, and with the gold mine already still in, and the gold dominance quite handily in the favor of Team Gankstars, Vertigo's got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, Vertigo needs to hang by their turret and try and play this smart. It's a very tough call because Hoboni is right on with his glimmer shots. He is not missing many of those. A nice afterburn coming out of Coeds, almost takes down Fredboy.
Oh, and the snipe goes in, and down goes Fredboy and Josh. And wow, you see the fountains, the ace coming out, the ace buff, heals them all up real quickly. That's the first ace, 10-0. This comp is doing absolutely phenomenal.
They have already accelerated to a 7,000 gold lead. That is getting pretty big on behalf of Gankstars. But a couple of kills in the way of Vertigo right now will close that gap significantly. They'll get the kill bounty, but they're still taking massive damage from Hoboni here while they're trying to defend their second turret. Gankstars seems to be very confident, and they're going to keep the pressure on because they see this game going in their favor.
Right, they got the jump on. They got the surprising Vertigo with the Crystal Kestrel and the early game dominance, and so Vertigo has not been able to adjust. They're trying to get the farm, and it's very, very dangerous because Vertigo. Kestrel. Wow, the Fredboy snipe. So you do see still a lot of damage coming out of that snipe from Kestrel. So it actually is quite impressive. Fredboy almost down to 2/3 health.
Yeah, that was very big. Fredboy's just got the one light shield. A lot of damage going on to Josh here as he's trying to move back through his turret.
Yeah, and you see Fredboy again taking a lot of damage too. The storm Vanguard coming in, trying to help Fred get out of the position of those arrows. But Gankstars is full health here, and those glimmer shots are just ripping Vertigo to shreds. Oh, you're breaking up there, man. I don't think anybody heard any of that.
Got the sorrow.
Yeah, you see nice positioning by Hoboni. His Kestrel, Crystal Kestrel. You just don't see a lot of people playing Crystal Kestrel. Let's try saying that 5 times fast. But this Hoboni doing a phenomenal job. The early game dominance is crazy, but they gotta be careful because if Vertigo scales and actually picks them some kills, the gold bounty on Gankstars is enormous right now.
Okay, I'm gonna try and talk again. Does it sound better?
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, I was just mentioning how Coeds has already got the Sour Blade. He's got a lot of damage in the center of the fight, while Hoboni's on the outside with those glimmer shots. You know, Hoboni is definitely leading the charge on this, but Coeds is not to be slept on.
Yeah, you see they're now near the turret. They're trying to get a post. You see Hoboni coming in, huge snipe. Victrix Mortalis does get a Vanguard, but not enough, and he's going to go... Oh, he doesn't go down. He actually makes it out, somehow alive, but Excelsior and Gankstars are trying to keep continuing. You see the sniping coming out of Hoboni is just not enough. Victrix Mortalis is going to have to go back, but this has been very, very, very difficult. This Crystal Kestrel is just ripping them to shreds, and there's just nothing Vertigo can do right now to counter it.
Yeah, they're definitely on the losing side. They're playing smart. They're staying alive. Ooh, gonna go.
Josh. And Josh trying to use his gauntlet. It's just not soon enough. He gets completely sniped. So now that goes on cooldown. You see Hoboni, though, taking a lot of damage. Can Victor... He gets a snipe, and he gets them. The gold bounty on that is absolutely enormous. Vertigo picking up at least a couple hundred off of that. That was an incredible kill by Victrix Mortalis. Able to get it. And that's the scaling we're seeing coming out of Weapon Kestrel.
Excelsior is still staying alive. It looks like he's gonna fall. And that looked like about a 700 gold bounty.
It was absolutely enormous. And this is where Gankstars has to be very careful. As Vertigo starts to get kills, they're going to start pulling away in gold. They're going to bring themselves back into gold and start buying some tier 3 items. You see already a Sorrow Blade onto Victrix Mortalis. So he was able to upgrade a few of his items. Fredboy already got his Broken Myth and Alternating Current and a Fountain on Josh. So this was absolutely an enormous fight for Vertigo to pick up those 2 kills. They didn't even need an ace.
Now, Coeds he was just waiting in the gold mine. He was chilling there. I think he was going to try and afterburn into lane if somebody was going to go push for the turret. So this nice little sneaky move there.
Yeah, so that enormous gold lead is down to about 7,000, which is a lot better than what it was. There was almost a 10k gold lead, and those 2 kills were very, very critical for Vertigo to get back in, to shrink that gold lead, but also to get enough gold so they were more relevant. As they start to scale, Gankstars needs to be careful.
Yeah, Fredboy's going to be the big factor. He's already got his Alternating Current and his Broken Myth. Another nice snipe is going to take a big chunk out of Josh on Vertigo, but it is Arden, so he's got plenty of tank to spare.
Yeah, I think Josh saw that. We actually sat right around there, deliberately took that from Fred. They were actually able to get Fredboy several times in a row, and that was hurting them during the team fights. Josh making a good decision, preventing that damage on the Fredboy. That allows Fredboy to kind of stick around. He actually does go back, though, to buy a few more items. So something's going on. I think Coeds is having internet problems.
Oh no, that would explain. I thought he was pulling off a sneaky move. It looks like he is having a little bit of trouble. He does keep holding still for a few moments.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some. I mean, maybe it's deliberate, or maybe he's just like not sure. Maybe he's just waiting for the wave to come, and he doesn't want to be out. But it did seem kind of odd. He was stuck kind of around the gold mine, and then stuck in a corner. Could be a little bit of lag coming out of Coeds. That could explain why those kills happened. It's quite possible. But you see, Josh has got his gauntlets. He's got an opportunity. Vertigo's got a chance now to isolate. Fredboy, though, going to go back. Probably going to buy some infusions or some items. Vertigo just continuing to turtle and stay very conservative until they can actually get on the same level as Gangstar. See, it's only 16. What was that?
I'll say keep an eye on Coeds. Make sure he still seems to be moving around okay.
Yeah, he does seem to be okay. Maybe that was just him waiting around or checking on something, checking on builds. Didn't want to be in the line of fire as he was talking with his teammates. Everything seems to be okay. I don't see any lags. We'll probably find out at the end of the game. Again, this is just a friendly match, so lags is something that we really can't address, unfortunately. But here you got Gankstars. They're all lumped together. They're coming in. Vertigo is ready to fight. They're around their turret. There's just a little bit of shield. You have to imagine, could see there's not as much poke. So the poke coming out of, oh, but Josh taking a huge amount of damage. They do trap, though, Excelsior and Coeds inside the gauntlet. You see a double gauntlet coming out. Josh does go down. Fredboy and Victrix Mortalis taking a lot of damage. They've got to be careful, but down goes Hoboni. That was, you see the really, really good play out of Fredboy and now Victrix Mortalis. I really think they've got the advantage here. They're scaling a lot better than Gankstars.
Yes, Dragon. The ult did land on Josh there, and that took a big chunk out of him, and he was brought down. But I think had they been a little bit more gold on their side, they would have gone for the rush there and tried to take down Coeds and Excelsior. But they played it smart. They went back to shop a little bit more, considered that a victory because they did get the better half of that. It was a 1-for-1, but they're at a gold deficit, so they got a lot more gold out of their kill than Gankstars.
They did, and you see, actually, wow, this is where Vertigo's really starting to put on the heat. Fredboy does take a lot of damage there in that team fight, but they take down Coeds. So the Glaive not doing as good, and Hoboni's got to be very careful. He's not scaling as well. He's not doing as much damage as he was before. Josh taking a lot of those snipes, but that's exactly what Vertigo wants. And now the gold lead is only 6,000.
Only 6,000, considering where they were. That's good news.
Yeah, they're not pulling too far ahead. They haven't gotten an ace or another turret, but you have to imagine that if they get one good team fight go their way with an ace, this is Vertigo's chance to make it. So Gankstars got to be extremely careful here.
Every kill is a small victory for Vertigo at this point because it's going to close that deficit, put them in a good position to roar back here.
Yeah, you do see Vertigo doing just that. They're trying to line up, but the scout traps by Gankstars are unbelievable. And even with that, Victrix Mortalis does take it. You see the gauntlet coming out. Oh, Coeds actually goes through and does he go down? He doesn't go down. He's managed to stay alive. There he does finally go down. Both are trapped in a stun. They're going to take a lot of damage. This is super dangerous. Can Fredboy stay alive? He's not going to stay alive. He does go down. Josh is left. So Gankstars is able to pick up a very handed good team fight. And if they can close the gap, they could probably take out Josh. The Frostburn coming out of Hoboni is very strong, but they do not get the ace, and that is a small victory for for Vertigo. Not getting the ace is very, very important there.
Yeah, that's going to keep them in this. It's going to keep their last turret of the lane alive. Unfortunately, they didn't have a reflex block to get out of that gauntlet, so they had to just try and rush the wall, take the stun, and see if they could push on.
Yeah, they had to focus so much of their defense early game on shield, thanks to Hoboni, that they don't have reflex blocks at all to counter those stuns. And you actually have 3 stuns on the game, Hoboni being one of the Kestrel stun being the hardest to take advantage of. But you do see, actually, wow, they're actually recalling. Hoboni goes back. Excelsior and Coeds are still there. They're still lingering around. Scout Trap's starting to finally clear. A lot of Scout Trap vision on the side of Gankstars, and you know that's helping them quite a bit keep the vision. That helped them a lot in that team fight. They knew exactly where Vertigo was, but Vertigo able to sneak out of there without the ace. Small victory. Now you see Vertigo. It's actually a 2v3 right now. Actually, no, it's a 3v3. You see oh wow, Josh again taking the damage. Excelsior's got his gauntlets up. Josh getting his gauntlets up right now, so this could be a very, very close ensuing team fight. Oh, but Josh uses his gauntlets, and Gankstars is nowhere to be seen.
He's gonna pay for that. But the return, Fredboy dips around the back.
I am not sure what happened to Gankstars there. They had that team fight. For some reason, Excelsior started to jump in the gauntlet, and they actually got 2 stuns. So Josh's mistimed gauntlet actually became a blessing in disguise.
And Excelsior is going to run all the way back into base to try and avoid the ace. He's going to go down here because Victrix Mortalis is just going to be able, Fredboy is just going to be able to push him down. That's great. That's cracking for Vertigo. What I saw there, Fredboy went around the back door, and he knocked out Hoboni before he even knew what hit him.
Vertigo's got to be careful. These are scout traps there. If these scout traps go off right when they take Kraken, this could... Oh, they steal Kraken with a snipe from Kestrel. And it's because they've got vision there. They can see exactly where it is and time it. So now Vertigo's going to take down the Kraken. This is actually a small victory for Gankstars, but Vertigo's probably going to get this Kraken because Gankstars is not at their full force. So the Kraken still is just going to give gold to Vertigo, which is really a small victory. So there's not...
Yes, Yeah, as long as they don't get aced here and they can just keep it alive and just get rid of the Kraken, they're going to be in a good spot. They might lose a turret depending on the pressure of Gankstars, but I think they're going to be okay.
Oh, you do see Fredboy getting caught out. You do see him navigating around, doing a phenomenal job. He comes to wait for it, misses it, but does take co-eds. Wow, Fredboy doing a phenomenal job. Oh, and he almost goes down. Fredboy is so low.
Skin on his teeth on that one, Dragon. They're going to lose a turret.
But that is
they close this gap to 2,500, maybe no, about 3,000.
Yeah, huge gap closure for Team Vertigo. Just a small 3,000, a paltry 3,000 or 2,500 gold advantage by Gankstars. So surprising, Vertigo had gotten that Kraken, it would have been quite a landslide. They would have been able to push because they're scaling so much better. The problem is they didn't check the bushes. They didn't check all around Kraken to see if there were scout traps. They went right for Kraken. I don't know why they thought they would do that, because with the ability for sniping, that was a huge mistake. But you do see impressive gauntlet coming out of Josh. They get both of them stunned, and Vox takes in Kestrel. Down goes Haboni. That was exactly what Vertigo needed. Very, very good gauntlet out of Josh. This is very dangerous for Gankstars.
They're going to push on this turret now. Coed is trying to fight it off, but he's got to be careful. They are getting so much damage in on him.
And you do see Fredboy. He's going very aggressive. 24 seconds till Kestrel comes back up. And the poke coming out of Victress and Fredboy was so strong. That actually brought down Coed. So now, believe it or not, it's only a 2,000 gold lead by Gankstars.
Really nice ult there by Victrix that actually stopped Excelsior from being able to port back. It didn't do a ton of damage on the Arden, but it was rather amusing at least.
Yeah, the one thing that Gankstars has, though, is the vision. Now, they're a little bit behind, but they've got the Kraken vision. Insane Kraken vision. There's 3 scout traps. There's really very little that Vertigo can do unless they go and clear it. The next time they hit Kraken, they've got to clear that out, or that's just going to continually allow Gankstars to get those steals.
Yeah, they got to do a serious sweep up there.
Kestrel actually by himself. Haboni again not sticking with his team. This allows Vertigo to get him caught out. It's 16 seconds for Vertigos. You see him coming right in. The
fusions are everywhere. We're closing the distance on Coeds.
Yeah, a huge amount of damage. You're going to see actually Josh get his gauntlet down. Oh, Victrix, though, taking so much damage.
Massive ult there. That was over half of his life. But fortunately, he had more than half of his life to spare, so he is still up. Gets the fountain back from Josh on Vertigo.
Yeah, and then plus with the heal creep, he's starting to come back in. You do see Josh using one of those fountains to get him back up to that level. They need to be ready. They can't afford to get ganked in, but you guys, full fountains, 2 fountains actually on the side of Gankstars. So it's really surprising that the scaling coming out of Vertigo is actually quite phenomenal, but you see the counter coming in place of Gankstars to try to adjust for that. And somehow that snipe went right through Fredboy.
Just past Vox's shoulder there.
Yeah, very surprising. Not sure if that's a bug in the game, actually.
It did look like it went right through. They say it's a small target area, though, so I guess chances are the animation could have been deceivingly large.
Josh throws down his gauntlets, but nice counter gauntlet coming out. Fredboy trying to stay alive. You do see this Crucible coming in. If they can just take... Oh, but Victrix Mortalis... Oh, they do get the stun. Do they get the stun back? They're trying to go in. They know Vertigo knows they've got the ability. They got the 3v2, but they have to be careful. Haboni still very, very strong, but his crystal-powered Kestrel is starting to fall off.
Dragon, we are looking at a 1,500 gold difference between these two teams right now. It's already anybody's game. But Kraken is back up, and Gankstars has the vision.
They have incredible vision. This is really where the difference is going to be. Vertigo doesn't have enough turrets to be able to pressure as much. The lane's going to be continually pressuring. They did take one of the minion mines during that, so they had both minion mines pushing. Gankstars does take one back. Vertigo scaling very well, and they've been able to survive the onslaught coming out of Gankstars from that early game. So this is up to it. You see Vertigo coming down. Victrix Mortalis is back. I'm sorry, Coeds is coming back right now. It is Haboni and Coeds are all down there. I'm not sure if Vertigo what they want to do. They don't realize
what they want to do. They're getting their infusions up, getting that extra gold that they need. Victrix is about 480 right now. He only needs, there he goes. He's got that extra he needs for at least one infusion. But we got infusions on both sides. Haboni's got the double infusion. That's going to give him a little extra pop on his Crystal Kestrel.
Yeah, and what Vertigo doesn't realize is they are being completely oh, but the miss snipe out of Hoboni, you do see the gauntlet locks them in, double gauntlet, so it actually keeps both teams from kind of going in, but the wait for it out of Vox, this is where Vox is so strong. You see the ultimate coming down, and Gankstars is falling. Excelsior is about to go down too. The Crystal Kestrel is falling late game, and you're seeing it completely collapse. You do see Excelsior making the right call by keeping, even though they know they're going to get the ace, this keeps Vertigo from pushing down too many turrets. Vertigo, though, is going to go very, very quickly. I have to imagine they're going to go for Kraken here. They're just too far away. But all that vision around Kraken is, again, very... They may get another snipe here. No, it's not. It's not going to be... It's not going to stay up in time.
Got 30 seconds, unless that scout trap pops on Kraken, which would be terribly unfortunate. But you should have cleared the vision. So, no, I think they're going to be all right. They're going to take Kraken. Fredboy's already taken down one turret. He's pushing on the second. That was at Sonic Zoom with the ult from Kestrel at the same time. Just really tore through Gankstars there.
Yeah, I think it was really questionable going with the Crystal Kestrel. They had a really strong early game. They did a really good job. But now the turret's even. Vertigo takes a gold lead, which is absolutely incredible. Taking the gold lead here when they were down by almost 10,000 gold with 2 turrets left. And now they've got Kraken pushing towards the last 2 turrets of Gangstar.
2,000 gold lead. They're all double infused. This is going to be a heavy, heavy push. But there's a lot of infusions on both sides here.
There's a lot of infusions. Josh doing a phenomenal gauntlet. Locks them both in. Hoboni almost goes down, but wait for it. Does miss a little bit. Hoboni takes a little bit of damage. This is really, really critical. Vertigo's able to push it back. Kraken's not quite there. Maybe a little bit too early of a team fight. Again, though, did trap them. It's kind of what you want, but the scaling out of Josh, Fredboy, and Victrix is perfect. You do see Fredboy taking a little bit of damage. So you're going to see, but the Kraken is doing, oh, and down goes Hoboni.
Those glimmer shots out of Kestrel there. That's nice. They're going to push down this turret. This is going to be GG here. Fantastic game by both teams. I mean, they played it right, but as I think you said, the choice to go Crystal Kestrel is kind of what got Gankstars in the end there.
Yeah, so Hoboni does fall. Down goes Excelsior as well. And there is the game. GG. Vertigo taking the